In this video, I will show you some of the rarest photos of the past which you have never seen before. Children next to a dead horse in New York City in 1903. A synagogue in New York holds 24-hour services on D-Day to pray for the success of Allied troops in 1944. Rod Serling and Jodie Foster in 1972. Demonstrators in New York City protesting against peacetime conscription prior to the United States' entry into World War II in 1941. Marilyn Monroe at the USS Bennington party held at the Astor Hotel in 1955. A young man helping his date into her skating kit in 1959. A couple walking along the East River, New York in 1960. Thames Swan shares a treat in 1958. A young couple kisses at roadside in Paris in 1975. Wife shields her husband's eyes from young woman taking her top off on the beach in France in 1974. Audrey Hepburn having her hair cut in 1953. A girl hold her skirts during high wind on the observation deck of the Empire State Building in 1940. A young couple lays down on a beach with their shoes off in 1937. Albert Einstein, just before his famous photo with his tongue out in 1951. A couple making a point about smog and the environment 1970. This is how people used to do online dating in the 1920s. Fashion show on board the New York, New Haven, and Hartford Railroads showed train in 1949. Men whistle as a pretty woman passes by 1959. Large group of Farnsworth Art School students paint a nude model in Rockland, Maine in 1946. Mom uses a trash can to contain her baby while she crochets in the park in 1969. A police officer issuing a woman a ticket for wearing a bikini on an Italian beach in 1957. A girl rocking the dyed bangs look at Jones Beach in 1969. Sophia Loren lighting her cigarette with a candle in 1963. Audrey Hepburn on set of The Nun's Story in 1958. Kelly Everts holding a big card saying nudity is God's creation in 1979. A waiter serving food to women in Paris in 1968. Marilyn Monroe and Jane Russell on set of Gentlemen Prefer Blondes in 1953. Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers dancing together in 1938. Ida Lupino spanking Santa in 1939. James Dean and Elizabeth Taylor during a break from filming Giant in 1956. At Home in California with Bogart and Bacall in 1947. Winona Ryder, Jodie Foster, and Julia Roberts, all of them in one picture in 1989. University of Illinois students hanging out at college dorm room in 1910. Debbie Reynolds and her daughter Carrie Disher in 1959. A generation of scientists at the Solvay Conference in 1927. 17 of the 29 attendees were or became Nobel Prize winners. Sydney Opera House during construction 1970s. Calcutta ambulance cars donated by wealthy Indians and others across British Empire for war effort in 1916. Female boxers at a women's international boxing match in Stockholm in 1949. Frank Sinatra helps Judy Garland to light a cigarette in 1944. Norwich City receives its first computer for Treasury Department for payroll in 1957. Actress Marilyn set out to kiss 10,000 soldiers in order to raise the morale of troops fighting in World War II in 1942. On her first day, she kissed 733 men. Arnold Schwarzenegger with the women from Foley's Berger at Cannes Film Festival in 1977. A World War II-era farmer painting stripes on her cow to increase visibility during blackout conditions in case the cow wandered into the road in 1940s. Coal miners coming up a coal mine elevator after a day of work in 1920s. Electric charging station in 1917 hence proved Elon Musk's electric car idea is not new. Women's during archery competition at the 1908 London Olympics. A man takes a selfie using a stick of wood to activate the camera in 1957. 3 Scout girls collect peach pits, which will later be processed, to make gas mask filters during World War I in 1917. Community grocery store owner outside his store in Harlem in 1940. Rick James kisses Charlie Murphy in 1981. Auto Wash Bowl was type of car wash company to remove mud below cars by driving them in a bowl of water in 1924. America's first country music star, Uncle Dave Mackin, with son Doris in 1930s. The graves of a Catholic woman and her Protestant husband in Holland in 1888. The original Michelin Man from 1898. Polish-Jewish resistance fighters of the United Partisan Organization in 1944. An immigrant family on Ellis Island looking across New York Harbor at the Statue of Liberty in 1930s. On November 20, 1963, two seamstresses show the first sample of the new flag of Zanzibar, which received independence on December 10, 1963 from Great Britain. Two officers escort black students home from Central High School in 1957. First Boeing 747 landing in Heathrow in 1970. Boston Bruin Bobby Orr soars through the air after scoring the game-winning goal over the Louis Blues in 1970. The GUM department store in Moscow, the day of its opening in Russian Empire in 1893. Actor and future U.S. President Ronald Reagan modeling for a sculpture in 1939. The King of Italy driving a car in 1910.